I knew I wanted to make decorative paintings. When I first started, essentially my colleagues and I were doing what is now identified as postmodernism, because we looked at modernism and it had run out. So I started looking at all that and saying, okay, what did they have that we have forgotten? And a lot of it was color, a lot of it was a vibrant expansiveness, almost an explosiveness. In this particular show, there are two different approaches. One of which is that I put down big blocks of color before I do any of the composition. So it will be maybe 4 or 6 stripes of color, and I try to make the colors strange, odd. For example, the painting behind me, there are many layers. So some of it is 1 layer of paint, some of it's 2, 3, 4 layers, until I'm happy. Then I paint the flower, and I always have the flower or the object directly in front of me. So I'm really drawing directly from what I see, because I have to be looking at something, because I want the nuance. What I want is what makes it a specific cyclamen flower, so that we look at this and we know what flower it is. And then weeks or months of changing the backgrounds. That is kind of the most exciting. Now the other approach is, and this is much more recent, is that I start with just a white canvas, which I never, ever, ever did in all my years of painting. And then I'll put the flower shapes down, and then I start filling in around it and putting, making the color come up. So about half the paintings in the show are technique 1, and about half are technique 2. And I think the end result to a casual viewer may be somewhat similar, but for me it's a completely different process. These usually take me a month to 6 weeks each. And then sometimes I repaint later, like this one behind me I had done, I think, about 3 years ago, and I didn't like it. So sometimes it's really a long time. I had lost interest in the figure, so the flower filled a void, and that was 30 years ago. And so I thought, oh, I'll do this for a while and then I'll do something else. But then here I am, I'm still doing this. What my paintings do for me is give me a sense of grounding. The plants, the shapes, the colors, there's a sense of harmony and disharmony, there's a sense of complexity and resolution. I think what I want to show is that you can have hope in this moment in time. That I want my art to say, beyond that, there's some way to get uplifted through art.